Edgar Rice Burroughs' Tarzan of the Apes, Origin of the Ape-Man, as illustrated by Joe Kubert. Book 4, Part 1. Claxton, you say that wild man who saved us from the panther and then ran away is actually the son of an English lord? I'm only telling you like I heard it myself, ma'am. Tarzan he's called, and more beast than man he is, too. Raised by a she-ape he was. He never knew no other mother. Claxton, I wouldn't care if he was the devil himself, if he can find my father. Maybe you'd not be so anxious for his help if you knew the rest of his story. And so follows the incredible tale as heard by the white hunter, whispered in hushed, frightened tones by those who know, of a man raised by the great apes to be their king. Tarzan's entire existence changes when Jane Porter and her company are stranded in Africa and she is kidnapped by Turcos, renegade bull ape. The jungle lord's pursuit is unflagging. His justice is swift and certain. And the love between a man and woman dispels all barriers of time and space. Born through the highest jungle trees, Jane feels no fear, only a thrill to the strong arms about her and the look of affection from the clear grey eyes set in that noble face. Tarzan, Origin of the Ape-Man, Book 4, Civilization. At the cabin, William Clayton readies a signal fire. Mr. Clayton! Mr. Clayton! What is it, Ezzy? Where is Miss Porter? Oh, Lordy, she been taken by a ape. We was walking in the woods when this wild thing come jumping down and took her. Oh, what are we going to do, Mr. Clayton? Poor Miss Jane. We've got to get her back, somehow. Mr. Clayton, look, over there. It's a ship. Esmeralda, a French cruiser with the Arrow in tow. In minutes, roaring flames attract the cruiser's lookout. They see us, Esmeralda. They see us. Thank heavens you saw our smoke. We need your help, desperately. I am Lieutenant D'Arnaud of the French Navy, at your service, Monsieur. We have learned of your dilemma from the survivors of the ship Arrow. Allow me to explain. For many days we have pursued the Arrow, and she would not answer our calls for recognition. Finally, upon boarding the Arrow, we found the crew stricken with hunger and thirst. Surviving mutineers told us the complete story. Lieutenant D'Arnaud, a girl is lost in that green hell. Slowly, Monsieur. Tell me all you know. Breathlessly, the terrible story tumbles from Clayton's lips, and minutes later, Allons, mon braves, we must find the poor girl before it is too late. In the deepest recesses of the vast jungle, Jane Porter waits for the return of Tarzan. Her heart beats quicken as he approaches, bearing food, for though she cannot understand why, she knows she loves this wild man of the forest. I do so wish you could speak. There is so much I would like to know about you. Where did you come from? Where are your people? How? Tarzan can only speak his ape language, which sounds like a chattering gibberish to Jane. What is this locket? Jane opens the locket, and in it sees the photographs of Tarzan's true parents. Tarzan places his locket around Jane's neck. Now, you must take me back to my father. He will be terribly worried. Intuitively, the jungle lord understands the request. And hours later, as the red sun sets on a verdantly lush horizon, Tarzan drops to the ground near the cabin. In the rapidly darkening jungle, Lieutenant D'Arno leads the search party when, suddenly, the shadows come to life and he is seized by a dozen arms. A short distance behind, Clayton and D'Arno's men are met by a lethal volley of spears and arrows. Get back! Those spears are poisoned. Have they taken Lieutenant D'Arno? It's too dark to see anything. Make camp back in the clearing we passed. We must wait until daylight. The tribe of Mobonga has been persecuted and driven by the white invaders of their continent. Now, they will exact revenge on their captive. The savage dance of death has begun, and D'Arno sags heavily as his pain-racked body twitches at every cut and blow. Why do I not die? Release me from this pain. Suddenly, one of the taunting horde gasps, drops his weapon, claws convulsively at his throat. To everyone's surprise, the warrior is yanked into the darkness of the trees, and seconds later falls to earth with a sickening thud. It is Munango Kiwiti, the evil one of the jungle. From high in the trees there issues forth the wild roar of the great bull ape. The jungle lord drops lightly to the ground, and, without a word, Tarzan of the Apes cuts the Frenchman's cruel bonds, ignoring the hostile stares surrounding him. Before a hand can be lifted, the Ape-Man leaps into the trees with his unconscious burden. Early next morning, the search party limps into the cabin clearing, bearing the bodies of their dead and wounded comrades. Jane Porter, is it really you? Thank God you are safe. We feared the worst when Esmeralda told us of the gorilla. I'm quite all right, William. The forest man rescued me. Pangs of jealousy twist Clayton's heart. Oh, so that half-savage saved you, eh? And where is he now? He returned into the jungle. Possibly to join his tribe. The same tribe that attacked us, killed our men, and captured Lieutenant D'Arno. It's not true. I will never believe that. How can you accuse a man who saved your life of such dreadful acts? He will come back. He will prove you are wrong. Possibly, Miss Porter, but anyone can tell you he is only a beast of the jungle. As he strides away from Jane's hurt glance, Clayton's mind goes back. How could I be such a cat to make insinuations about a man who came to my aid? The day we were put ashore in this strange land, when I searched for Professor Porter in the jungle. Professor, answer me! I had no idea anyone was watching me from behind the heavy foliage. It's growing dark. I must return to the cabin before I'm completely lost. Oh, it's a lion. He's after me. Nowhere to run. The lion is almost upon him. It was the wild man who leapt from the trees onto the lion's back. Single-handedly, he slew the beast and did save my life. Jane, I had no reason to speak as I did of the forest man. Perhaps it was because of my own unstrung nerves. Stay close to the cabin, Jane, with your father and Esmeralda. We will find D'Arno